I know that they asked him, I was doing something, and I think Dave Pinzer went and asked Vader to do some interviews, and he said no. And then somebody else went and asked him, and he said no. And finally somebody said, Kevin Sullivan said, Paul, would you go ask Tim? Maybe he'll listen to you. Please ask him to see if he'll come and do the interview, because it's like 6 o'clock. The people are film people, a union, so they go on a break lunch or whatever. So we started about 7 something. So we only had about 15 minutes, and it was a very important interview. And I just, like I'm talking here to you, I said, Leon, do you mind doing this interview? And, he said some nasty words, and, it was kind of like this, what's your deal? And, I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me that way. And he talked really, and I don't know why. That's the sad thing, I don't know why. And one thing led to another. It got hotter and hotter and hotter. And then he sucker punched me. Because, I was with the office. And if I would have ever thrown the first punch, I'd been fired.
Right.
And that quick. And I got up, and if the right one don't get you, the left one will. And I defended myself, and I don't know if you ever seen somebody knocked out on their feet. Have you ever seen them stumble around and finally go down? That's how he went. And I kicked him in the face about 5-6 times. And then if I could have got a hold of a club or something else, I'm glad I didn't, but I would have killed him. Don't do that. That was wrong. He was wrong. And it cost him a lot of money. I could have sued him. And that's how it happened. Then we got into it again, and I took a couple shots. But I worked that night. He had to go to the hospital.
What was the vibe in the locker room?
They loved it. It kind of gave me it helped me.
Right.
It helped me to stay there another 5 years. So it wasn't all bad. But it was one of those, you don't like to do that. But then again, here's a guy that ain't been in the business. You don't talk to people that way. Not in front of everybody in the locker. You don't do it. So it was my pride too.
Right.
I'm glad he hit me.